Alright, let's complete our two-sided equations worksheet. I'll start with number 1. 283 minus z equals 15z plus 11. So I'm going to start by adding z to both sides. So I get all of my z's over to the right. Right, I want to get the minus z away from here. So I'm going to move the plus z, make that 0, and plus z over here. So I have 283 equals 16z plus 11. Next thing I need to do, I have all my z's in one place now. Kind of looks like 162. I need to get rid of the plus 11. So I'm going to subtract 11 from both sides. Minus 11 here and here. That makes 272 equals 16z. So my last step is going to be to divide by the number in front of the variable. So I'm going to divide both sides here by 16, and I get 17. 272 divided by 16 is 17. So z equals 17. Alright, number 2. 7 plus 16x equals 142 plus x. This time I'm going to subtract x from both sides. I could have subtracted 7 from both sides, I could subtract 16x from both sides, I could subtract 142 from both sides, or I can subtract the x. I'm going to subtract the x because I know if I do that, I'm going to get a positive 15x. If I subtracted 16x, I'd have negative 15x, and it would just be on this side. I'd rather have the positive, so I'm going to subtract the x and keep the x's positive here. So now I'm going to subtract the 7 to get 15x by itself, right, to get the 7 plus away. That leaves me with 135 here. So last step, divide by the number in front of the variable. That's a 15. So divide both sides by 15. So I get x equals 9. Good habit here just to circle our answers. Lets me know that you know what you're doing. Next one, I'm going to look at the variables again. They're both being added. So I'm going to have to subtract 1. I can subtract x, or I can subtract 9x. I know if I subtract 9x, I'm going to end up with negative variables. If I subtract the x, I'm going to keep this positive. So I have 148 equals 20 plus 8x. Now I'll subtract the 20 to get the x's all by themselves. That gives me 128 equals 8x. And my last step is to divide by the number in front of the variable. So divide both sides by 8, and I get 16 equals x. Circle that, my solution. Alright, I've got plus y, I've got 11y, so I'm going to subtract y from both sides. So 157 equals, that's 10y plus 17. I'll get the 17 away from the y's by subtracting 17 from both sides. That gives me 140 equals 10y. Last step, divide both sides by the number in front of the variable, by that 10. So I get 14 equals y. Alright, this time I have minus x and plus 5x on the other side. So this time I can add x to make that 0x. So I have 118 equals 4 plus 6x. Subtract the 4 to make that 0 and get the 6x all by itself. That leaves me 114 equals 6x. So last step, divide by the 6. Alright, divide by the number in front of the letter. Alright, and that gives me 19 equals x. Alright, I've got a 2y here, I've got a minus y over here, so I'm going to add y to both sides. So I get 3y, oops, not equals yet, plus 13, haven't gotten rid of that yet, plus 13 equals 55. Subtract the 13 from both sides. Still have my 3y over here, the 13's are gone, 55 minus 13 is 42. Divide both sides by the number in front of the letter. Y equals 14. Alright, let's go back up to the top. Number number 7. I've got 18z, I've got plus a z. I'm going to subtract a z from both sides. That gives me 17z plus 9 equals 298. Subtract 9 from both sides. 17z equals 289. And divide both sides by that number in front of our variable. I get z equals 289 divided by 17 is 17. Alright, on the next one, oh, I have some like terms here I can combine. I think I'm going to do that in the same step, just to save myself some time, or some space, because I'm a little short on space on this paper. I'm going to add x to both sides here. To get rid of the x on this side, I'll get all my x's over here. So I have 64 equals. I'm also going to combine the 18 and the 20. Alright, let's do 12x plus x first to get my variables first, 13x. And then 18 plus 20, combine those like terms, makes 38. So I'm going to put plus 38, which I'm now going to subtract immediately. Alright, so 64 minus 38 leaves us with 26 right here, equals 13x. Divide both sides by that 13, and I get 2 equals x. Alright. We're going to have like terms again here, 6 and 10. We have 3 terms on this side, so I know I'm going to have some like terms. I'm going to add a y to both sides. So I'm left with 100 on this side, equals 11 plus 1 more y makes 12y. 6 and 10 makes 16. Now I need to subtract the 16 from both sides. That leaves me with 84 equals 12y. Divide by the number in front of the variable. That's a 12. So that's 7 equals y. Alright, this time I have the numbers on the left side. Plus z and plus 15z, so I'm going to subtract z. So that gives me 15 minus 1 is 14z, 1 plus 7 is 8, and 92 over here. Subtract the 8 from both sides. So 14z equals 84. So last step, divide both sides by the 14, write the number in front of the variable. Alright, so z equals 84 divided by 14 is 6. Alright, 2 more. Let's get the y over here. So I'm going to add y here and here. I also have 211 plus 36. Alright, so 211 plus 36 makes 247. 12y plus 1y makes 13y. And then 19 plus 7 makes 26, which I now need to subtract from both sides. So that gives me 221 equals 13y. And I'll divide both sides by that number in front of the variable. So 221 divided by 13 makes 17. Last one. Let's see, I got numbers here to combine. Alright, so I'll combine the 16 and the 15, but I'm going to add the x at the same time. So adding x gives me 20x. Plus 16 and 15 makes 31. And I have 71 over here. So I'll subtract the 31 from both sides. 20x equals 71 minus 31 is 40. Divide both sides by the number in front of my variable. I get x equals 2. Right. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully we'll be a little more efficient in class. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or bring them to class with you. Thanks. Hope you're being successful.